for the World War II weekend and 2023, and it is a beautiful day. It's a nice breeze. There's some clouds over to Ed, and it is just a beautiful day here. If you ever come to one of these events, make sure you get lots of sunscreen and bring your own shade, because out on these flight lines there really is no shade unless you get under the wing of an aircraft or something. It is beautiful. And over here we got a T6 Texan. They do have rides. T6 Texan and I believe the PT21 rides. Those are all sold out. The lady was telling me you have to book them in like March if you want to get a ride in one of them before the air show. Right now it's June. Keep that in mind. Here's where the airplane rides are. It says sold out. And then they have these other Warbird rides. Those are a lot more expensive. Those are in the P51 Mustang and the Douglas Dauntless. Those can get a lot more money. So none of these rides are cheap, just so you know. And the prices on the rides are, let's look, 20 minutes for a P51 is $18.95, 30 minutes $22.95. The Dauntless is $9.95 for 20 minutes and $11.95 for 30. Keep in mind, if you're wondering why they charge so much, these planes are expensive to maintain and fuel. So keep that in mind if you ever come to one of these, if you're wondering why they cost that much. So there is a lot to see here. There's a lot more than just these airplanes here today. There is tanks and lots of army tents. They do put on like an air show and all sorts of other things. And I believe they have mock battle. There's like I said, there's tanks to see here, and let's go look at them, but we'll go look at some of the army equipment. There's all these tents over here, bivouacking, whatever you want to call it. And they got of course all their military gear and all sorts of things. Here you got your military vehicles moving out, getting ready to do battle. And like over here you have your Quit Your Bitchin' Mustang over here, P51 Mustang, probably the best fighter of the war. And over here you got all your army stuff. You can see spread out. You plan on spending the whole day here if you want to see everything, so keep that in mind. Over here you have your CBs. If you don't know what the CBs were during World War II, they would go into on islands in the Pacific and build makeshift runways for the planes to take off for the Air Force and the Navy. And there was a lot of times when they were building those runways, the Japanese, they would be fighting the Japanese back and forth for possession of the runway while they were building them, until they finally took the islands. It's not a pretty sight. It's a dangerous job. Okay, over here you have your Pipers and Taylorcrafts. These were used as observation planes during World War II and for transport and things like that. And they were a big help during the war. If you ever see the movie Battle of the Bulge, they used one of these. I can't remember if it was the Taylorcraft or the Piper, but they used it to spot the German tanks in the fog, and I believe they ended up crashing. But let's go over here and take a look at this one. Maybe this lady will let me interview her. I don't know, let's see. What's your name again?
Amanda
Bachman. And her and her husband flew it here. From where?
Yeah, so this is our 1943 Taylorcraft L2M model. It's based out of Regal Airfield in Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
My husband flew it in. I had to drive in all of our reenacting gear. But yeah, so this was ferried off the factory lines in Alliance, Ohio by a WASP, which are the Women Air Force Service pilots. And the WASP that flew our airplane, we have all the original documentation. Her name was Yvonne C. Pavin, but she went by Pat. And so she ferried it off the factory line in Alliance, Ohio, down to, it eventually ended up at Bowman Field down in Louisville.
Oh.
Yeah, so they used these, this one in particular was used for glider training.
All right.
Yeah.
This one was used for glider training. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of them were, I know they were used for patrolling and spotting and transport and all that other stuff
pretty
too.
much observational planes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You can see this at ET Garage on YouTube.
Yeah. Sounds
Thank
good.
you. All right, let's go walk around a little bit more. Over here you have your CBs. If you don't know what the CBs were during World War II, they would go into on islands in the Pacific and build makeshift runways for the planes to take off for the Air Force and the Navy. And there was a lot of times when they were building those runways, the Japanese, they would be fighting the Japanese back and forth for possession of the runway while they were building them until they finally took the islands. It's not a pretty sight. It's a dangerous job. Okay, over here you have the Sherman tank, and over here a smaller tank. I'm not familiar with all the tanks of World War II, but they have that, and of course more tents and planes. And like I said, there's a lot to see here. All right, over here you have the German Army with their vehicles, their armored personnel carriers, their tanks. And I'm not going to go into what tank is which. I'm just not familiar with tanks that much. But they had their Tiger IIs and their Panthers and all that stuff. They did have some really sleek armored personnel carriers, you got to say that. And they had those little, their version of the Jeep, which is pretty cool. And over here you got some BMW motorcycles that the Germans used. And we'll go take a look at them. And here you have your BMW motorcycles. Sidecar and the machine guns all mounted, ready to go. Over here you got the Germans all lining up, ready to go to war. Get their equipment ready and get inspected. All that good stuff. Over here you got the U.S. Army Jeeps and the armorer getting ready to hand out the guns and the ammo. Get ready for battle. And all up and down here you got more tents. And I believe they have a mock battle later. And they do have like an air show where they do some mock bombing and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll get some video of that. I'll include some video of planes starting up and taking off and all that good stuff. But I was hoping to go for one of those plane rides, but the cheaper ones were sold out. So if I could have got one of the cheaper ones, I would have went up. But those, like I said, those sold out by March, according to the lady. All right, over here you have your P-39 Airacobra. Unique to the P-39 Airacobra was behind the pilot was the motor, and up in front of the pilot is a 37mm cannon, and there you can see the ammo, and it would fire right through there, right through the center of the prop, and it had doors on it just like a car. It was also unique to the P-39. The Russians loved these airplanes. They used to buy these in the thousands from the U.S., made to their specifications. They're a unique airplane. All right, I'm gonna make this a short video, and here you have, I believe, T-6 Texans and some other training craft. These are actually Boeing Sturmans over here, the guy was telling me. And anyway, like I said, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to include some more footage, I believe, after the end of this video, if you want to keep watching the plane start and stuff like that. In the meantime, I want everybody to have a great day, and God bless.